Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back, those that have been here with us today. Welcome to those that haven't. Welcome to the Will-O-Wisp Woods, and welcome to Steam and Rain. We are on to episode 19. We have been on hiatus for the last 2 weeks, as our wonderful players have been a bit busy. But, nonetheless, we are back, we are playing, we are ready to go.
One of them kidnapped me.
And, we're here to roll some dice, because I fucking needed it.
2d6.
So, quick recap.
That's a lot of dice for level 5.
From last time. Our wonderful players had taken to the mines. They had gone and found themselves attempting to find the origin of these lost miners. These people that were simply doing their job suddenly disappearing. And after running into some nasty creatures that were calling the mines home, the group then found themselves going deeper into the mines, following the trails, following the maps, and following the rather interesting burrows and holes that they found. Nonetheless, after hours of traversal, after nearly getting lost a little bit, and finally traversing their way over a underground river, the group finds themselves now in a cavern after finding a cave opposite of the one they had entered, full of strange statue pieces. These statue pieces seemingly extremely realistic people. These hands, arms, legs, pieces of torsos, all with strange marks as if something had bitten into the stone. Now making their way back and trying to find their way out before anything happens, they find themselves now not face to face, but in close proximity to a creature that they had hoped not to face, with scales that seemed to match the stonework of the caves around them, and rather interesting gems that sprawl from the tip of their nose all the way down their spine to the end of their tail. With 8 legs, 4 on either side, each with sharp claws and a maw full of teeth. The group now finds themselves hiding behind the stalagmite they had hidden, or they had tied their rope to. And just inside the cave entrance that they had used to make their way in, a basilisk stands. And for those of you wanting a visual,
Oh, it's gorgeous. Right, basilisks are normally typically medium-sized creatures.
I spent an hour on this map.
It looks fantastic. We need to go back to map building together. That's always fun.
So, you all find yourselves hiding behind the stalagmites, or the stalagmite that you have your rope tied off to. On this side, at least. And across the
How far
way...
is it from this?
From here, probably about 100 feet, 105.
Okay.
And then
Your
behind
cat's
you,
evil, by the way, Matt.
and then
That is wrong.
then behind you, you've got the cave entrance that you all had gone further into, where you can hear the sound of skittering further in before the crunching of stone. However, there seems to be one ahead of you, where you had come from.
Where is it positioned? Ah, so it's like right up fucking it. Okay.
It's looking into the cave entrance, trying to figure out what's going on in there.
What do we do?
So, what would you all like to do?
Not be here.
Cry.
Yeah.
Not be here and cry.
That's fair.
Well, it seems like we're still hidden by it. Like, hidden, right?
For the moment.
For the moment. For the moment, he says.
Wow!
Yeah, wow.
Very cool.
And, and for those
She has no
Oh.
idea of the trouble we were in.
and for those wanting a visual of the creature that they see,
No.
I have provided an image. This is
Me.
the 2024 version of the Basilisk that I actually enjoy the look of more than the original, because the original
I
actually
agree.
the original doesn't give off this feel of worry.
Doctor.
Yeah.
See?
Wow!
Yeah, no, that is honestly fear-inspiring for
Yay!
any veteran player. No matter what level you are, mind you. Got moved from original position. I'm okay with this. Just looking at Darrow. What do we do?
We haven't even rolled for initiative yet,
No.
so
You haven't been caught yet.
We haven't been seen. We have. But we can't necessarily sleep.
Yay!
So.
That's
Can
our
Darrow
turn.
see well?
At the moment. Because if
well,
I'm
the
not...
basilisk is
Wow.
also blind, right?
These are cool.
Nope.
We don't know that. And it can be changed anyway to the DM's perspective.
Lovely.
Guess I'm teaching her young.
Careful, Match is gonna smack your keyboard and break your PC.
There's a possibility of that happening. There you go.
Mother!
I hope you realize she's rolling
Here.
for you tonight.
Is it? Huh?
At this moment, yes.
Beginner's
Yay.
luck, maybe.
Turn.
My rolls aren't up to the dice gods. It's up to my daughter.
The dice gods.
In here. Put it in here.
Yeah.
Did you put-
Fuck.
Actually, to go.
Well, guys, there. Larz is looking up. It's just. We strike, or do we hide?
Yay!
We're-
Turn.
Where
not
exactly is
prepared
the
for this.
basilisk?
Right at the entrance of.
Right in front of us, right where we need to go.
Mhm.
What's it do?
You might want to open up his stream, being completely honest.
Oh, I do. I have his stream up. This basilisk is taking up the whole river. Or the stream.
No,
No,
that's
it's
just
a glorified image.
his show-off picture. It's the little blue one right underneath his Dungeon Master plaque. Because the basilisk
Oh,
he
on
has
the-
isn't a large creature, so it's not gonna be multiple squares big.
Now, if there was a basket,
And where it's at?
dead.
That'd be a dragon.
It
And
would need to
where
blind
it's at?
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right now?
We're gonna have to
Where
like
it's at
somehow
is where
get it
we
away
need to
from
go.
there.
Yep.
Yes. That's why I'm sitting here kind of fucking dumbfounded. I'm like, what do we do? We need to get across. Let me look at my notes. I can't remember if I have a fucking torch out or not. Actually, I think I do. Larry the Flump fucked off, didn't he?
Oh, that's right. The flump is here.
He's right there.
We all
Larz
love
grabs
Larry.
a shattered stone hand, almost gets us fucking caught.
No, I rolled bad in the first place.
I'm aware. I'm very aware of how you rolled. You almost got us caught.
It's not my fault. I rolled unbelievably well at the start. Let's pay contact.
That'll work.
Given the wonderful amount of resources.
Mhm.
Just a little flump.
Yay! I
Yep.
Patty is her. Here. Here.
Alright.
While you guys,
I vote we sacrifice the flump.
while you guys
I vote
collaborate
against.
amongst yourselves, I do actually need to use the restroom. So have fun.
Smooth.
I had a plan. Now since he's going away,
in what way?
I had a plan. It was really good because I was in range. I can't really talk about it, so I mean we gotta be quiet. I was gonna drop it into the sea or try to.
And why can't you?
It's too far.
So you would need to get across the rope to it first. Is it your teleport spell?
Yeah. Yes.
Isn't that 50 feet?
Yeah.
90 feet range.
90?
Or Daddy is towards the way.
So if we got you across the way...
Walking away.
Unless if it fails.
Yes. Awesome.
If we got you across the way,
Way to go away.
literally that's it.
The way.
Problem is a
Do you
con
need to...
save.
Is it... Can you use me as a
Is it-
conduit? Like...
I can teleport you across.
She is very talkative. Yeah, and have me do
Yes.
what?
I'm just saying I can get anybody across. I can.
Plus,
So
we don't
willing-
know if it's we don't know if it's Medusa-esque of I need to look at it and have it turn to stone, or if it just looks at me and says "fuck you." So Would rather not.
We don't even know. There's a creature over there. We don't know what it does. There's a lot of stone beings, and we're like,
I'm aware. I am very aware. Trust me. The thing is, like, even when I was at Matt's house, like I told you, I wanted to fight it too. But it's not like we could have looked up a stat block. The motherfucker made a custom stat block for this fucking thing. So, like, how sober is Larz right now? Pants shittingly sober, I'm gonna say. Also, hello, Elite Wolf. How you doing? Hello, hello.
no, Pete Lars
Our
has
DM
been
is
a week
currently
and a half
taking a shit.
sober. Sober from the wonderful powder that is known as angel dust.
Yeah, you haven't really used it that much.
Yeah, I don't got too much, and there hasn't been any real proper opportunities to do so
You haven't tried.
until now.
Until now. No! Not the time!
Perfect time.
If he dies, he gives us a fucking opening. I mean... Is your teleport spell a...
How bad would it be?
sub... Like,
It
Let me
is
finish!
A failure.
No. Is it a substitution type? No,
I
never
choose
mind. It's just straight
I choose
teleportation.
point area to go within a 90-foot radius. So, and it has to fail the
So-
save, and it's a con save.
It would be good to... It would be... How bad's your con?
No, it's con. Con is typically the strongest, the largest in the
it's
game
con.
for every monster.
Fuck.
I
Can
have
this
a
creature
really
swim?
good save DC. I'm gonna
Can
try
this
and
creature
find
swim?
out.
There's a possibility. With the multiple legs, it can either crawl along the walls or fucking just straight up be fine in water because it came up from the fucking chasm. So it's, can you bring him back? Because I like Larz. Larz is fine. Larz is right here. He's perfectly good. Our issue is we need to get across this rope in what is essentially dead fucking dark. They can see. I can't. Ferrati can. That's fine. But the only thing I can like properly think of is just the old school fucking throwing rocks in different directions to try and get it to fuck off. But
It could
that doesn't
shoot an
solve
arrow.
solve the problem of. And what? Get into combat with something that looks at us and turns us to stone?
No.
Again, we don't know if this
That's
is
my
Medusa
smart-
rules or if it's just straight up it sees you and you're screwed.
Okay, smartass. What I was trying to say is use my arrows as the stone. So I shoot it, it's more of a direct hit. Louder, too.
This is the part where we have to discuss in character.
Yes, discuss in character in a cave with not much noise suppression with something that can hear really fucking
Exactly.
good. I'd rather
So
not.
we're supposed to.
Exactly.
So we're supposed to talk in character.
No. Right now,
Oh,
this is
how's
treated
those
as
things
combat,
what we're doing.
but not combat. This is combat, not combat. Because we haven't pissed it off and we're not engaged. But if we piss it off, then we're in combat, then we roll initiative. But the one issue is, like I said, we don't know the rules of this one. This is a whole new stat block. He made it. We don't
I
know if it's Medusa
kinda
rules.
do.
We don't know if it's... He made the stat block. How do you know what he did?
How are y'all?
Well, that's the thing, Chaos. We don't know if it's Medusa rules. Fuck you. We don't know if it's Medusa rules or if it just looks at us and we're screwed. We have no information. We
No,
are
I
not
just-
prepared for this. At all.
No, this is.
And it doesn't help that even if we were to fucking cheat and look up a fucking stat block, it doesn't matter. He made a special one for this fucker.
Hi, sorry. I know a lot.
Hi, Ellie.
Well, it seems to be a nocturnal creature, so any form of light should basically blind it.
Nocturnal.
You guys want me to throw
Yeah.
lights?
It's. We could try to see if it even reacts to it.
It lives in the darkness. It knows how to get around in darkness. So when there's light, the thing's gonna be fucking flashbanged.
Chaos, I think, has a
it's
question.
right in
Will.
front of where we need to go.
Hi,
Well,
Will.
that is the
Yes,
fucking
so
issue.
regardless of what happens, we need to get it to move eventually. That's why I was talking about the whole rock thing.
Hi, Chaos.
Or arrow, depending.
As you all are
I
conversating
don't want
quietly
I don't
amongst
want to
yourselves,
fight this
creature.
commenting quietly. Fucking
Yes. Well, I assume you all are
fucking-
going to be planning out what you're doing in character, because otherwise your characters have no idea what's going on.
Mhm.
So you're kind of quietly
Exactly.
like whispering back and forth. This creature just is it looks down and it seems to snag one of the rocks at its feet, and you watch as it leers its head up and then starts to try and swallow down the stone, and you watch as it just crunching on it a few times finally swallows it.
Remind me who can ask what? Eh?
I mean, anybody can ask anything. Our wonderful viewers can ask anything. Our players can ask anything. Now, whether or not they actually know the information is the toss-up, but I'm always willing to hear out a question at the very least.
As simple as this. Do we engage or do we wait it out? Or try to wait it out?
Well, it seems like we're in the way of its den. So I don't think waiting
Den
out.
is home. The den is behind us.
That's what I'm trying to
Entire
say.
fucking thing is it's done. Would rolling to see if I have any knowledge about it be nature or investigation, history?
Pretty sure
Quit getting snacks. I'm asking you a question.
I'm not getting snacks. I'm getting what determines your life and death.
I don't like
Yeah.
that.
That's exactly what that is.
How good are the
Hey,
acoustics in
9
this
times
game?
out of 10 when I'm playing with him, I hear crinkling bags and then it's snacks. Not crinkling bags and then my demise, alright?
Yeah, but for D&D, I try not to snack too much because I prefer to be able to
Sticky
speak when
dice.
I need to. Now, I will admit I've snacked before, and it's kind of fucked me because I've had food in my mouth when I'm asked an important question. So I try not to do that as much anymore. But as
How
for
good are the acoustics in this cave? Well, one of the things that we have is like a river rapids thing going through the cave right here. So there is a little noise suppression. A little bit, but not enough. If we were to actually like start talking.
You all then watch as the
But what
creature
would
seems
the-
to meander over in this direction towards this stalagmite, where you actually see as one of the rocks that you had passed by originally coming in, it snags, and as it pulls it out from in between the rubble of two others, you actually watch a full arm is produced. As about at the wrist, it actually snaps off from it coming in contact with one of the other rocks, and it then is swallowed by this creature who seems to just kind of sniff around this area now as it's looking for something to eat.
That's not a bad idea.
Swallows.
So,
I-
how loud
I've
is it
tried
in the
it.
cave with the water right now?
It's with the running water down at the bottom of this cavernous ravine, it's loud enough at the bottom where, of course, you can hear it. It's audible throughout the entire cave, and for the most part, it has been stifling a lot of the noise for you all to kind of talk amongst yourselves. It's loud enough that you can whisper to each other and not be heard, basically. At least on this side.
And what check would I need to know if I know?
From what I remember from last session, you all had rolled, and I remember Thormir and Darrow rolling low, and then Larz rolling high enough to know that I think that parts can be used from this monster, but nobody really knows.
Perception, not.
Oh, perception.
No.
If you're wanting to roll perception,
We rolled perception. No. I want to roll to see if I know.
I tried to roll for creatures.
Not, because like my biggest hang up is we don't know how it works. We don't know if it's Medusa rules or it sees you, you turn to stone.
Yeah.
So, what would I need to roll in order to figure out if I know that?
We have already had that roll.
Well, technically, we have been looking at it this entire time.
When?
You haven't made eye contact. And you definitely haven't been close enough for it to notice you. But I'm pretty sure we rolled that when you all had originally spotted them in the cave behind you. That's why you all are trying to get out. I don't remember if it was Larz or Darrow, but one of you rolled high enough to know what it is, and that you all didn't like the sound of dealing with it.
Larz.
No, we rolled high enough to know that there is some type of creature that causes. We figured out that it was petrification. We never rolled we failed the knowledge check for what types of creatures. Now, since we have an idea, does it rapidly spur memories in the adrenaline rush of, oh crap, what is that?
I will say, if you want to, you all can roll a history or nature check. As I've mentioned previously, keep in mind that those two rolls will give you different information based on what you roll.
Well, I'm gonna take my +7. Come on,
What are you rolling?
I'm rolling history. As a history.
I'll roll nature.
As a 21.
I rolled a 0.
16.
Did you actually?
I got a nat 1, and then I have -1 for nature, so 0.
I got a 15 plus 1 is 16 for nature.
Okay. Fuck.
That there is dog.
The one motherfucker who might know things rolls the worst.
Get up at that dog.
No petting the dog.
Get up at that dog.
Not a dog. It's not a dog.
Come on, put that dog.
Oh my gods. Oh wait.
As much as I would love a pet Basilisk.
That's interesting. So they've actually separated nature and history now. That's interesting. I still roll it as awesome. History being the book knowledge behind creatures and nature being the experience behind them. The way they have them separated now is nature and history are both intelligence checks, but nature allows you to recall the lore about terrain, plants, animals, and weather, whereas history is historical events, people, nations, and cultures. They've actually separated them out now, which is interesting. They're both intelligence checks, though,
Thank you.
which is interesting.
Is it? Yeah.
Supported
But-
for the
I still separate it as history being like, you know, the book part of it, and nature being like you've gone out and actually practiced it. Well, I suppose with how they've separated it now, it would make more sense. But for right now, I'm just going to separate them differently. So, you got a 21 in history?
Yes.
Okay. And then you got a 16 in nature. So,
I can roll for both. I only roll for one.
well, it's one or the other. And James rolled for history.
You already got your
and
0.
Darrow rolled for nature.
Hi.
Here, later on.
Thank you.
Darrow's 16 nature will give him...
Here.
So, in character, you all don't actually know that these are basilisks, because basilisks are creatures that are rare enough in interaction that most people don't know what they are. And the ones that do either don't last long or, you know,
I need to go grab it. Can you go grab it?
Okay.
happen
you.
to have...
Drive it away.
Drive it away or just happen to survive.
I need to go grab it.
But-
Please. Thank you.
Basilisks, this creature, Darrow has seen and heard stories of them from those that would delve into dungeons and deep chasms in the past. These creatures are well known for taking up residence in abandoned castles or forts. They're well known for taking up residence in deep ravines and chasms. They're known for taking up residence in deep caves. These creatures are not necessarily nocturnal, but they are... They prefer the comfort of caves and deep, dark dwellings and stone dwellings because of the fact that a lot of times, if they run out of food, they are able to simply eat what's around them. Because these creatures are, from what you've heard, creatures that can turn other creatures to stone. As you all had previously watched as it had turned a bug that was flying by to stone before eating it.
Terrifying.
Now, Larz, you have read in the past, while learning the practice of your alchemy, you have learned that basilisks, which are a creature that are rare enough to barely be interacted with, sometimes people have found their carcasses, and though not as potent because the creatures have been dead long enough for the corpse to kind of start rotting most times, people use their eyes, their teeth, their claws, their scales, and even their hearts as alchemy parts. Obviously, each part operates differently for different things, but the eyes are one of the more pertinent items. Those that have survived interactions with these creatures and those that have taken parts from their corpses, their eyes are their most powerful pieces. Because for some reason their eyes turn organic creatures that can see them to stone.
Would he know if it's in direct contact with him, or
You have no idea.
or if it's just, for example, if we so okay.
You have no idea. Because, as I said, those that have found the parts usually find them as corpses, or have been far enough away to not be noticed. So you actually have no idea what, distance-wise, what this creature is capable of.
We're in trouble. As you saw when it hit the bug, it turns the bow turns us to stone. Organic things to stone.
First time actually seeing one. It's definitely not good.
Preferably to last. With us walking away. Well, that is our quarry. Makes sense now. No brace of anything left. What do we do? Attack? Or wait it out?
Attacking head on would be fucking death. Since
Exactly.
going across the rope is gonna be a
Just
pain in
throw
the ass for
everything
me.
I have at it. I don't think it'd be wise for us to
How
try
many
and
spell
cross the
slots
road.
do you have left?
I'm at 80% of my capacity.
That doesn't answer my question.
Okay, player to player. Because I gotta be smart with Larz. I have 2 level 3 slots, 2 level 2 slots, and 3 level first level slots.
How many times can you cast teleportation?
If I use every single spell I have in availability, I can cast it possibly 4 times.
Okay, so I would only need you to cast it twice.
I also have
Oh, Darrow, I have the fast spell. You know, you go time slows down spell prepared if you wish to use it. What do we have at our disposal?
Well, if you can teleport me across the chasm, that way I can make sure it doesn't get close to us while you, Ferrati, and Thormir try to cross.
As much... Should we...
looks at the child.
I don't want her anywhere near it.
Well, it's either we get her near it or she doesn't come out of this cave alive. We don't have a choice here. Because going back is definitely going to get us all killed. Either we get out, or no one does.
Okay.
Your lights, they're cantrips, aren't they?
Yes. Yes. I can cast tremendously.
I also have a few. I have 1 ranged spell. Cantrip that allows me to. I can shoot bolts of fire.
Let's see. Do a cantrip.
Have I ever cast firebolt?
Hmm?
No, I've only
think you did
cast it
once,
first
yeah.
fight. Because I ran out of spell slots.
I think you yes, you cast it at least once in our fights that we've had.
It is within range.
Darrow. Try your
Okay.
best to aim it roughly over the
The
chasm
creature?
in the direction where the basilisk went. Aim a light over there. If it reacts to it, then we know that it can see.
I can throw a bolt over there. Okay.
A
So
cantrip, a
hit
light.
it or don't hit it. Okay.
Don't hit it. Just for clarification, I'm telling you to put the light over the chasm,
Well,
not
can I see
onto
distance
the
to-
creature.
Thanks.
Hmm?
Thanks. I was
Put the
looking
light
to see.
over the middle of the chasm, over the water.
Okay.
These things are stalagmites, by the way.
Okay.
They're stalactites. Whichever one hangs from the bottom.
Bites. M pokes up like an M, the 2 points of the M. T hangs down.
Okay, well, this is a stalag rock that goes from bottom to
Mite.
top, and then this one is
So
a
pillars.
stalagmite, and then this one is a pillar.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do the lights. I can do it at 120 feet range.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna light up the entire back end there.
Back where?
You're gonna try and
Over
And there's
here?
no
push it.
sound. Yep, I'm gonna max range. Yep,
So you got 4 of them?
I'm gonna go 10 feet forward. 10 feet forward, so I can throw it. I can throw it actually in there into the mouth. And I'm just gonna. If Derek can see it back now, he's gonna see it now.
So I want to know, are we
And
treating
I've
this as
pasted-
combat, as like
I'm
movement and
pa-
stuff takes?
I pasted
Not at the
out
No.
moment.
Okay.
so that I illuminate the entire area, like 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, you know, or 15 foot. So it's currently I have a 60-foot square.
Where are
of
you wanting these?
light? Just corner.
Because
So like think square. So the bottom one, up one, over one, to the right. And I'm just pretty much like where it just makes a perfect little square. Yeah, you got it.
okay,
Because each one shares 15 feet.
these things don't have HP, do they? They're just
No.
little globules of light.
And they make no sound either.
Are they solid?
How do I get rid of these?
Are they like
They're
solid?
light.
Like, I know, but it creates.
There's globules of light.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it like a jello kind of thing that gives off light, or is it just like what is the source of this orb of light?
Aura. Arcane, the weave, mana.
I don't mean like that. I mean the source of the light itself. Is it just like
I'm manipulating the wave to shed light.
you know what? We'll go based off of
Everything
that
is made out of magic.
We'll just go with that because that's how Larz makes it make sense. Because if it was like a solid source, then
Light is light.
This was going to be a lot funnier. But you all
Yes.
watch as this creature suddenly comes from behind the stalagmite and comes over to the globule as it attempts to like leap up on its back legs and snap down on the light, trying to figure out what it is and if it's food.
Okay. It can see. Just going to scary back. I'm just going to make the lights move around.
The one thing
Yeah,
that
I'm
we
just
can
making them
definitely
just
make sure of
dance.
is light makes it, or it's how the fuck would I explain this? Its sense of vision is decent enough that it can see the light.
I'm
Go
just
towards
making
the
it
light.
dance
Fuck off.
around
Leave us
the mouth.
alone.
I'm just making it dance around it. I'm being as annoying as possible I can with this.
Nice.
It's just looking at Darrow. What now?
It's like a gnat, but incorporeal light.
Oh, this is blinding to a point at this point.
Can you... Do you need to focus on this spell for you, or the cantrip? For
Nods.
You, you need to focus on this.
Yes.
Fuck. Alright. Well, with that information, Darrow starts to, or goes around the pillar as it's distracted and attempts to cross the rope.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to purposely move the lights around at the wall and dancing it like a cat with a
Are you gonna
laser.
make this thing like a fucking...
Yeah. So,
Like a
And I
laser.
got literally
four of them.
laser pointering the fucking basilisk.
are you trying to do this stealthily?
I got 4 of them too.
Me?
Yes. Are you trying to cross the rope stealthily, or are you just trying to get
Yes.
it across as fast as possible?
$20 rope.
And is the rope an incline
hold-
or just solidly flat?
It's straight across. It is straight across.
It's just about straight across, yeah.
That's
I'm
how we had to
asking
do it
in
last
dungeon.
time. It was just straight across.
It's basically straight across. There's like
So
Alright.
I'm gonna need
smallest
information from
incline,
you,
but
Will.
It's not big enough to make any difference, no.
Thanks for fucking me over, Matt.
Well, it's an incline, like a decline
When it
from where
comes
you all.
to when it comes to the armor that Darrow has on, it's chainmail, half plate, and leather.
Mm-hmm.
So, or not half plate, but like a fucking plate on the chest. How, like, I know that I have stealth disadvantage, but how much noise would that be, especially with the quote unquote suppression of the river?
That depends
If
on
I was
your
to try and do this just normal.
That depends.
How far or how long is the rope over the chasm?
20 feet from
20 feet.
wall to white, from cliff's edge to cliff's edge. That's why you all were able to get the rope across.
Okay.
The river down below is kind of running fast as well, so. I'm so happy with this map.
Well, you did really
Looks
good
good.
on it. Save it for later. Because then you could just, since you've put so much work into it, you can actually, with Roll20, you can actually just pivot the entire map around and everything, so you can use it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take a second here. You are cute as heck.
Careful.
Just gonna bat one of your d20s and get your only nat 20 for the night.
She has her own little thing. Hey, be nice. I was petting you. I was being nice. Ow! Little shit.
So,
Fuck you. Fuck it. I'm gonna do it to be safe.
stealthy?
Give me a second. See, so it is... That's not what I need. Where's my features and traits?
Stealthy.
1d6. I was correct. Shut the fuck up.
Stealthy time.
Rolled a 3 for 3 hours. I can turn the stealth on and off. Activate that. Okay. As Darrow gets close to the rope, he takes a deep breath, inhale, exhale, and lets the shadows just form around him. As he grabs hand, like just kind of hanging like this so he can move fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
But not gonna be kicking around like crazy, making his armor make a bunch of fucking noise, even with the stealth advantage. That just makes my stealth normal. And as quickly and as quietly as it would be allowed, moves across the rope.
Okay. I will only need one
While
athletics
Larz
check
is
from you.
playing lasers with the light balls.
This is the most deadly and important game of lasers we're ever gonna do in this game. Ugh.
Do I let the roulette wheel spin the entire time, considering that this is literally roulette?
It's up to you.
Find out. Aha.
I need an athletics check, and if
What
you are
number
doing a
did you
stealth
land on?
check, I need a stealth check.
I mean, technically it is a stealth check. I'm invisible. Athletics... Fuck, what is that? 28? 16 plus 6?
16 plus 6 would
and
be
then
22.
Stealth. I don't do math, fuck you. Aha! 21.
21 for
stealth.
stealth? Wonderful.
Mhm.
I will say you manage to, though quickly, you manage to keep it where only your arms are the things moving, which is extremely strenuous on your body at the moment. But you are able to keep just your arms moving as you make your way across and successfully land behind the stalagmite that you all had tied this end of the rope to. The creature now climbing along and up the wall to try and catch the globule of light. Confused and rather
And whenever what
annoyed now as it is trying its best to catch whatever this source is, unable to.
whenever it gets close, I just throw another one right in front of his face.
It is actively
4 of 'em.
hissing now, making this strange guttural hiss noise as it's trying to catch these possible sources of food.
I don't know if any of the characters look by. But he's sweating. Just yeah. Other people like, oh, he's just a no skill wizard. No, this guy is grand movements. He's just constantly moving. It's
With the assistance of Larz's dark vision and the lights, Darrow uses his hands to show him move the blinks over to the edge of the chasm to try and make it follow that way along the wall.
Oh, that actually translates.
I'm just trying to think he's invisible.
I'm not
Yeah,
invisible now.
especially if you're
Fuck you. I
invisible.
can turn it on and off at will. If I'm wanting to
Oh.
fucking show you shit, I'm not gonna be invisible. You dork.
Oh, nice. I thought you were invisible. Like how?
That's fair. That is fair. When I hit the end, Darrow drops the fucking invisibility so you can see him, and then shows you move the blinks to the edge.
the water end, so right or
Yes.
down? Okay. And it's
We
just
want to get it
slowly
away
doing
from the
that then.
fucking entrance. Then we need fucking Thormir and Ferrati to cross the rope. Because you can't stop fucking with the goddamn lights, otherwise... Like, you can't stop fucking with the lights to teleport Ferrati or Thormir across, or yourself. So we need
I
to
can
make
do
him
that.
go away from the entrance. And get everybody across. And then once it's pissed off enough, fucking... We'll go from there.
You asked me if I had to concentrate on the spells. Yes. My teleportation does not require
Yes.
concentration,
No, no,
which
no.
means I can
I was
cast.
asking if you needed to concentrate while fucking with shit.
The concentration isn't
Well,
effective.
technically, yes. I think. Do I have to spend my action to move him?
Mm-hmm. It's your spell.
It's my bonus action, so I can actually use actions. So it's a bonus action every time I move him.
Now keep in mind this is a solid pillar, so you cannot see on the other side of it.
Around it.
Okay, I'm gonna start moving it that way.
What way? Like over here?
If you have to keep
Mhm.
vision with it, I would suggest
No.
doing a little. You don't need to keep vision.
No, I don't have to see my lights to move them.
Okay.
I'm just thinking. Okay, I'm going to wheel that individual ball of light that way 10 feet. I can run into a wall for all I know. Oh, I care. I'll just snuff out. As it slowly starts making its way there, I'm going to haste beforehand.
You are.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm,
Or are you
and
going-
myself. Yes.
Okay.
And as soon as I do it, the lights go out. Bonus action Vortex Warp. It needs to make a con save.
Okay. Now I just want to make sure. Are you certain?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see what dice decides your fate today.
This was not the plan, James. This was not the plan, James. We wanted to get the two people who.
How far is it?
50 feet
I was
from you
gonna
right
try
now.
and get it to 60-ish feet. Oh, perfect.
Okay. The purple rain dice is deciding your fate this evening.
Chocolate rain.
Why did you have to deviate from the plan? Now something's gonna go wrong.
Purple rain.
This was my
Or
original
something
plan from
might
the
go
get-go. I've been
right.
thinking about this for nonstop for 2 weeks.
I'm aware.
Ever since the end of the
However,
campaign.
you now are all stuck on the layer side of the chasm.
What's
I'm the only one over here.
what's your DC?
15.
A 15?
A 15.
They're screwed. They're screwed. Hello, mistake.
I didn't hear.
So, how does your magic look exactly?
It's
Like, how would
a
you
wonderful
just
blue.
like, how would you describe your
orange.
vortex warp to look?
Purple, because it's
Purple.
vortex.
It's purple and orange and blue, but mostly his magic's around orange and blue.
Okay. So, Darrow, who's now having much more difficulty seeing here in this dark cavern,
I'm fucking listening for everything. Best you fucking.
Larz and Thormir and Ferrati watch as this creature, originally chasing these strange lights, what it saw as food, suddenly looks around very confused as the lights just disappear. Suddenly, it's wrapped in this swirling vortex of magic, this beautiful coloration of purples and blues and oranges, much like a whirlpool in the air as it circles and spins around the creature. And it looks like it's pulling the creature into this whirling swirl until its claws sink into the stone and the magic dissipates.
Reaction, silvery barbs.
Oh, yeah?
He did have it prepped since last time. He hasn't used it.
And you said your DC was what?
15.
And
I've tried every single combat to use this spell. Please work.
it is meat to beat.
I don't get it. Come on.
It is meat to beat.
That's not.
This creature now looks around confused and concerned before burrowing into the stone.
Couldn't you
I'm
just stuck to the
dropping-
plan, James?
I'm just dropping the spell. I'm not using it anymore. I'm done with it. I swear. Never works for me.
You say that up until you go to use it for something very important, and then it actually saves one of you. However,
Yeah.
you all have no idea where this creature
Same
has just gone.
time, my ratio is not good.
Oh, are you saying silvery barbs is not actually as strong as you thought it was originally?
No.
Hmm.
I always said it was strong. Stupid strong.
Mm-hmm.
Darrow gets advantage.
You all
No, this
have
is
no idea.
We're not
it's
in
just
combat yet.
annoying
It doesn't
that
fucking
I can
notice
throw
anything.
an
It just
adult
fucked
black
off.
dragon. Yep, I'm just waiting.
You all have no idea where this creature has just gone.
Well, considering the fucking that just happened. Hold on.
I just gotta figure a way how to make the con save into a charisma save, and I'm fine. I have a really high
Darrow
DC.
picks up a rock from the ground and chucks it. It would be in the direction of where Lars's camera is, like down towards that direction,
Okay.
to try and get it to hit the wall over there.
Okay. You throw it, and it's easy enough to find loose stone that's large enough to actually throw that far.
It would be
And you throw it, and it clicks against the wall before clicking against the floor as it bounces a few times. No reaction.
Look, Thormir, get over.
Trying to say go over there, but no. Daughters?
yes. Yes.
There. Something so. Thormir does the stealthily to the rope. And starts crawling across the rope. Not with 2 arms. 2 arms and feet. And slowly.
If you're trying
He
to
doesn't have
cross
a
the rope stealthily,
Life rope.
I would like a stealth check as well as an athletics check.
Aye aye.
Are we sending Ferrati across as well?
Yeah, ours will go over
18
west.
plus...
Yeah.
So I got an 18 for athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Did it count?
It hit my daughter's face. Does it still count? Please tell me it doesn't count, because this is gonna be awful if it is.
Starts being your own child. Oh no.
In good faith for the
Just-
fact that
just-
you just walloped your daughter with a dice, I will let you re-roll it.
Thank you, because it was not one.
Last round last session it was fucking James. He got 3 nat 20s and then fucking nothing but ones the entire
Where'd it
time.
go? Where did the dice go?
Yeah.
What are you sorry for?
Yeah.
Wait.
Dead.
There.
Did she roll it?
Well, I'm gonna have her roll it this time. I don't know where it went. What the
Aoife,
fuck?
roll for your dad. Roll the dice, Aoife.
Do you by chance have the dice? No?
Aoife, roll the dice.
What? Okay, there's 3, 6. I'm tripping.
Clearly.
Aoife, you want to roll it?
Okay. Hey.
17 plus 9. So, well, that's a lot. 26 for stealth. Thank you.
Nice. Thormir is able to get across just fine.
I owed you
And this
that-
is why we let Aoife roll.
Oi.
You are able to get across just fine. Much quieter than anyone first expected, in all honesty. The flump seems to notice everybody going across and just floats across. Who's next, Ferrati or Larz?
Ferrati.
Okay. Ferrati gets across. Not quietly, but she gets across.
Swap Darrow and Ferrati's positioning. As she got across the rope, Darrow would have her sit in a safer spot.
Okay.
Would it be possible to ride on top of Larry?
No.
You can try, but it does not look like their body
Tell you one
is.
thing of gas to carry you up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like this creature's body is meant for carrying things. It's just meant to hold up its own weight. It doesn't. It's not
Gotcha.
heavy.
Hannah.
It is not large
Just a
at all.
thought. Just a thought.
What is it? Like strength score 4? Or something
6.
like that.
A flump has a strength score of 6. That is a -2 on all strength checks.
Damn. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Have fun. And Larz.
I'm gonna get across.
You are?
I believe I have advantage on stealth checks.
Yo.
Because of haste.
Here. Look. Here. Here.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I
I
don't-
move twice as fast.
No. Stay down.
I have advantage on dexterity saving throws. That's it. Okay. For stealth, that's a 22. Not 22, but 21.
Okay.
I.
Tell me some.
Here.
And your athletics? And how long does haste last?
-1 for 10. A minute.
A minute.
How long? What? Oh, he cast haste. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it would take more than a minute for Thormir and Ferrati to get across, but you wouldn't have to worry too much about the sudden lethargian. As you're trying to cross, at least.
Lethargian?
Lethargian. You get lethargic after
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have to spend around
haste.
doing nothing.
You have to. Well, it's not that you don't. You have to spend around doing nothing. It's you don't get a choice. You get to take a little nap standing up.
Yeah, body completely just. Ugh.
But nonetheless. And you said a 13 total for the athletics? Ah.
Yep.
Okay. You manage to make your way across, just barely. Almost slipping once or twice. The water rushing down below. How do you all wish to proceed? What do you all wish to do?
Get out.
Genius.
Thormir is gonna have his crossbow out and ready. Quietly. And it's already pretty strong, so.
Darrow motions for
Ah.
everybody to stay where they are
Pink.
It's very pink.
before reactivating.
Stop. We can be water.
What's it called?
Be
Ah,
water. Water.
before activating Shadow's Wreath again. And where's my? Here it is. Let's see. Four blocks to the left, just quietly walking over that way with a rock in hand, and then chucking it over where the basilisk appeared. Uh-oh.
So over here?
Nope.
Eh.
You good? Okay. Yeah. Well, let stream catch up. Yes.
Okay. You're able to throw it. And you hear it clatter against the wall before bouncing off and bouncing along the floor and then dropping down off the cliffside into the water. No reaction.
Um.
I need to just take
Well,
down y'all's
Best
passives.
use, I guess, for anything. Passive perceptions and stuff. Yeah.
What is y'all's passive perceptions?
I'll send it to you in the private DM thingy so you have it.
18 for me for passive perception.
Okay.
22.
Oh, because you have the observant feat, don't you?
There you go. Passive perception is 12, passive investigation is 14, and passive insight is 9. Those are the ones you wanted, right?
Okay.
Does Darrow hear anything while this is going on besides the river.
Just a moment. Darrow, Larz, Thormir. All right. What are Darrow's passives?
Perception 12, investigation 14, insight 9.
14 invest, 9 insight. Larz,
22.
22 perk. What's your invest and insight?
My passive insight is 14. My passive investigation is 22 as well.
Wonderful. And Thormir?
Passive perception is 18. Passive investigation is 12. Passive insight is 15.
Nice.
Why do I feel like my numbers are so fucking small in comparison to these guys?
It's because you got rid
Because you're
of
a
This is what
your-
I'm built around.
You got rid of your insight and your perception for AC and damage. Plus, you're a fighter.
That's fair.
And then
You can get hit. I can't get hit.
at the moment,
I can get hit a little bit.
your ACs.
20.
It was 15, but it's at 15, not 17.
So it's 15?
It is
15 for
20,
me.
right? It's not 21 or some shit.
15.
Yep,
for-
20.
Well, that plan failed, and now I'm dead if we go into combat.
Wonderful.
Should have stuck to the plan.
Now I don't have to ask for those in the future. I can just use them. Wonderful. So, with no reaction, what do you all plan on doing now?
Stealth
Well,
out.
Darrow's going to walk back to Ferrati. And then kneel down to her and say, I need you to be very quiet. I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna take you towards the exit. If you see something I can't see, tap on the top of my head and I'll know to stop. Okay?
She gives a thumbs up.
From there, Darrow picks her up by, just picks her up and then puts her on his shoulders. That way, she can sit there without him having to hold on to her, keeping his greatsword in hand as he slowly starts to walk back towards that direction. Granted, to the rest of them, it looks like Ferrati's floating on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She floats away.
Oh, yeah. And what are Larz and Thormir doing as Ferrati floats towards the entrance?
I'm gonna keep a 20 foot distance falling behind.
Yep, I'm
But-
just gonna stick next to Thormir.
You said a 20-foot distance? Okay. Neat. The flump is with these two. 20 foot. 50 foot.
I really want to keep this creature.
Wonderful.
Why?
He's
Pretty
my
sure it doesn't
friend.
leave caves. I'll sacrifice this shit the millisecond I get the opportunity. Jesus. If I get the opportunity.
Don't sacrifice Larry.
I'm going to sacrifice Larry, especially if it means we get to live. Fuck Larry. I don't want any of us dying today.
So you two have dark vision up to 60 feet.
I have dark vision up to 180.
Oh, neat. Even better. And the flump has dark vision up to 60 feet as well.
Ferrati has...
Dark vision up to 60
My
feet.
eyes are like natural headlights.
Dark vision up to 60 feet with very low passive. Thormir and Larz, can you make a perception check for me? And just for fun, the flump will too, because... Never mind, its passive isn't high enough.
Perception.
I got a.
I got a 19.
A 19.
I got it like it's free plus. I got a 10.
Okay, so Larz doesn't see anything. Thormir, you notice that
Yes.
as these two are walking towards the mouth of the cave entrance, and as you all are now getting to a point where you can actually see into it, using your spectacular vision in the dark, you notice something. You notice that as you all get closer, Ferrati is floating, but you know that Darrow is with her.
Yes.
On the ceiling of the mouth of the entrance of the cave, you notice two dimly glowing ice blue eyes.
Well, with that information, I know we're caught.
And I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Fuck!
I thought we were trying so hard to avoid this.
You were.
I got
Yeah.
30. I have a nat 20, so I have 30 in total.
17.
Very nice.
It's just the D20, not D20 plus anything, right?
D20 plus your initiative.
Or no, initiative. 16.
A 16.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Just a moment. I need to get my paper. There we go.
Will wanted us to fight this creature. I already knew from the very fucking beginning. He
Well-
wouldn't have made this map with all his efforts.
Oh, no. I can make maps without effort and do all that. I literally made this one in an hour. It's just having the motivation to do so. However, lights with no source, a bunch of noise, rocks being thrown and moved. Something was in here that the creature...
At different locations, yeah. It's intelligent.
It's not necessarily
terrifying.
intelligent,
It's a basilisk.
but it is hungry.
We're sacrificing Larry.
So. Just a moment.
But that tells me you have to lock eyes to get petrified.
Okay.
It already has eyes on us. Wait. Wouldn't that mean I'd stone if I
No.
saw eyes?
No. You also have to be within range.
Wrong person. There we go. Alright. Darrow. Darrow, you got a 16, correct?
For initiative, yeah.
Yep. Okay, Larz.
17.
17, that's good. Thormir.
30.
30, wonderful.
I got a nat.
Fucking, huh?
I got a nat 10,
Natural
20 plus 10 initiative.
How the fuck do you have 10 initiative? I have +2.
Gloomstalker. So this is what they're all about, buddy.
Ranger.
I'm pretty sure you also have the alert feat, don't you?
Bitch.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So he's got a +5 in Dex, which makes his initiative a +5. And then he's got an additional +5 from the alert feat, which means he can't be surprised, and he gets an additional +5 to initiative. It helps him go first, which is good for his ranger subclass. Now, I will say, Darrow and Ferrati both got 16s, which means if you want, you can interchange your turns with each other, because we're not using Avery, so I will allow you to do whichever you prefer. You can either go before her or after her. So if you have something like, if you ask her to do something and you want to hold your act, or you want to let her go first, and then you kind of follow up on that, you can do that. Or you can go, I'm going to do this first, and then you follow up, that kind of thing. So that way you can interchange your turns. But so, They are within 30 feet. So, you all were ready for a fight, though you weren't hoping for it. So no surprise round. But Thormir, you're up first.
Ooh. And where I'm at currently, I only have 2 actions per turn, correct?
You have 2 attacks per turn
I'm
if you're
level-
level 5, if I'm not mistaken.
I have 2 actions already just from Gloomstalker. I'm level 5, but I have 4 in Ranger and 1 in Rogue. I was level 5 Ranger, I'd have 3 actions to pull.
Yep.
But I don't have that yet. So I only have 2. So I'm gonna have to make the most of it. And that's just initial. Then after that, I only have 1.
Mm-hmm. At level 5 of a martial
so
class,
what we
you
got
get
here-
multi-attack, which is multiple attacks on your action. So,
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm only level 4 with Ranger. But I will go ahead and cast. What's the range of this one again? 5-foot range, so you're not within 5 feet. Hail of Thorns.
Hail of Thorns, you cast
And then
on
go
your
ahead
next
and
weapon
take a
attack.
shot with my cross. Yes.
What's the spell that you were trying to cast?
So. Well, wait a minute. I have to take a hit. I have to shoot him first.
Yes.
And then cast Hail of Thorns?
No,
Like,
Hail
the
of
next
Thorns
time
you cast, and you cast it on your current weapon, and then when you hit a creature with that weapon, you are able to cause Hail of Thorns to happen.
You enchant the bolt. If the bolt hits, fuck them up.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
It's not really cast it onto the creature, but cast it on my bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to basically take advantage of what I got as an initial, for first initial.
Yep.
So I cast Hail of Thorns on my weapon and take a shot with my crossbow, shooting in between what I'm shooting at what I'm seeing, right? What's in front of me.
Mm-hmm. And it's only 45 feet
How
away.
far away is he? Oh, that's not too bad. I rolled an 11 plus 8, so that'd be 19.
That'll hit.
19.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
And then it needs to make a
D10.
dex save, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. This is the D10. No, that's a D12.
Your crossbow and
That's
your
a
Hail
10.
of Thorns are 2 different
'Kay.
damage amounts. Keep that in mind.
Hail of Thorns, that's another D10.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do 2 rolls of D10. I got a 0, so I'm taking a 10.
Yep. Zeros on a D10 are 10s.
And a 3.
Nice. So 13 damage?
So the 10's the correct.
Very nice.
Damage is damage.
Indeed.
And with that, Darrow will most definitely know that it's right in front of him.
Yep. Thankfully.
Is that boat? The boat's gonna fly right next to him.
No, it's going up into the fucking ceiling because that's where the damn thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It'll go right
So,
by
does it
Ferrati,
fall?
actually.
That. Way to go, Matt. Shoot at the child.
She didn't get hit.
Luckily. You roll a fucking 1 and she gets
It's
fucking
pushed back
stoned
10.
and our entire fucking reason for being here is gone.
10 feet. It gets pushed back 10 feet.
Nice.
Well, the whole purpose of us, oh wait, fall?
Wait. Where did that
Did it
slam
fall?
it? On the ceiling?
Yeah, it's on the ceiling.
It's an upward motion, so it's just gonna be hop.
Just for fun.
How much damage is this
Oh,
thing gonna
why is
fucking
this
do?
that way?
That's a d6. There is a blood-curdling screech as this creature hisses loudly, and it echoes off of the walls. It's not happy, and it is in a lot of pain.
Does it fall prone?
No, because Thormir made a good point. I rolled a d6 for damage as it slams into the ceiling.
Oh, wouldn't that make it fall?
Its lower jaw
The question.
gets pinned.
Like, it's the more the question of where. Oh! I shot it in his jaw.
It's hanging upside down, and as you can see from the image, its face is rather long rather than broad or tall. You watch as its maw gets pinned to the ceiling. Is that Thormir's turn?
After taking that shot, after taking that shot, I put the crossbow back on my back to take out my longbow.
Okay.
But at that point, that would be it.
Okay. Basilisk's turn.
Beat
Hanging
me.
upside
Great.
down from
This
his
is
jaw.
really well in general.
Being the fact that its choices are remain pinned or do what it's going to. It's going to do what it's going to, and you watch as it actually rips its maw up and off the bolt, leaving a rather gnarly hole in the bottom of its jaw. And I need Darrow and Ferrati to make con saves.
D20.
Mm-hmm. D20 plus your con, or your Constitution saving throw.
Saving throw mod.
There you go. Ooh.
D3.
A what?
23.
Okay.
2, 3.
I thought you said I got a 3. I was like, how the fuck did you manage that? Because I know
got a
Darrow.
16 plus 7.
I was about to say, because I'm pretty sure Darrow's con save is one of his class's, like, save proficiencies. I was really worried for a moment.
Constitution and strength are the best ones that I got.
So, Ferrati and Darrow. Actually.
If my hail thorns last for a minute, so doesn't it have to constantly have to take a dex save?
Nope, it's considered rough terrain after the initial damage. So every 5 feet of movement is doubled,
If
basically.
it tries to move.
If it tries to move, it has
Yeah.
it has to move 10 feet for every 5 feet instead.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. It's a very interesting
So I penned it
and
and
very
made it hard
useful interaction with the world. Anything that makes rough terrain is always really interesting.
I penned it and made it hard to move. God,
Now,
it's like a trap.
No, it ripped its fucking face through, or ripped the bolt through the bottom of its face. There's now a hole right here.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So it can move around as much as it wants to and fuck us up.
No, it can move now, but initially I pinned it.
Mm-hmm. With the shove from the mastery. Which is really interesting. I do like the mastery things that they added. That's one of the only good things about the 2024 edition. Now, Darrow and Ferrati, as they now see this creature, and as Thormir fires a bolt at it, their attention drawn to what he's suddenly firing off randomly at. In their eyes, at least, because their perceptions were low enough to miss it. Their attention is drawn for a moment, and they watch this pulse as their eyes, or the eyes of this creature, blink brighter for a moment, and they feel their body suddenly tense, as if it's attempting to lock up on them, but they're able to shake it off. This sudden painful tensing, as if every muscle in their body is attempting to turn to stone, is suddenly shaken off. And this creature starts to disconnect its claws, one claw at a time, as it leans back, and you watch each of 6 of its legs let go before it lets the 5th one go, and then drops down to the ground, landing on its feet as it flips. And now it looks to each of the group, and it lets out this strange hiss. Its interest now drawn to the possibility of a meal. And with that, it is Larz's turn. You are 45 feet from it.
How tall is the ceiling?
Only like 10 or so feet. It's not tall at all here, honestly. Well, the cavern itself, or the mouth of the cave?
Mouth of the cave.
The mouth of the cave, it's only about 10 feet. It widened out when you all were coming in, but it didn't get much taller. This area has not been excavated yet.
Okay.
It hasn't been come into by the miners. It hasn't been worked on. It hasn't really even been found yet.
Because everybody
I
who
need
comes
to
down
make
here
a
makes
dex
too much
save.
fucking noise, gets yoinked.
As I'm dropping the ceiling on it.
Hey, buddy, we need to leave through there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Erupting Nerfa needs to make a deck save, and I'm going to try and bring the ceiling down on it.
Okay. And what's your DC again? 15?
15.
I'm gonna write that down as
I
well.
have a way
Oh.
through.
I do an extra 1d8 if my weapon damage type hits
Nice.
for being a dread ambrusher, so I still have damage. I'm just reading it.
See? That's why I like y'all reading your spells and your character sheets.
I totally missed it.
What are y'all's spell saves? Because I know Thormir has one as well.
Spell save?
The
You have a
spell
DC
save
spell save.
DC.
I'm looking for it.
It's on your
I have
spell
strength,
sheet.
dexterity,
It's on your spells section of your character sheet. Larz, yours is 15, isn't it?
13.
And then 13 for Thormir. Awesome! Now I have all of y'all's information, and I no longer have to ask ever.
I don't got spell stuff.
I know.
It's a 10.
You bonk things.
D8. Got it. So...
Motherfucker, you made it sound like every one of us has a number to fucking give you.
Well, it's because
Well,
Larz,
so that's an
Thormir, and
additional-
Ferrati do.
Have to save.
What?
That would be an additional 7 damage from my dread ambrusher.
Neat.
And I am... Yeah. So I'm pretty much making it so it's hitting him, but I'm trying to collapse what's past it onto the basilisks. The spell hits the basilisks as well, but it,
Alright. Odds or evens?
I'm at odds right now.
Lucky for you. You got a 5. On the D100. Not your damage. Go on ahead and roll your damage for the initial erupting earth.
You add your Wisp modifier plus 2 to initiative.
3d12.
Turn.
Did
Each
it
combat.
make the save?
Well, these
Did it make the save?
No. No.
that turn can make one additional.
That's 18 damage.
18.
Bludgeoning.
Very nice. That's that. And you said you were trying to drop the ceiling on it?
Yep.
The entire cave mouth caves in. Go on ahead and roll 12d6 for me.
While he does that, I'm gonna hit the bathroom.
Have fun. Don't fall in. If you do, don't call us.
Take that fucking second. I'll pull you up in my phone.
Yeah, I'm topping it out at 12d6 because any more and it's just unnecessary.
20... 26... 36... 40... 42.
42?
Things already taken
Thought it'd be more damage, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
62 damage already. Damn.
Everyone watches as the mouth of the cave suddenly collapses. And you watch as this creature, which was shaken by this spell that Larz had originally cast, with the earth now made into rough terrain. It attempts to escape and just fails, and it falls short. There's a loud, pained screech for just a split second before you hear the disgusting crush of bones and flesh as the cave destroys this poor creature. The stone rubble comes down, smashing this creature, demolishing every bit of it. No eyes, no scales, nothing remains to cause any harm to the party. And that screech that had released for just a moment is suddenly cut short, as no noise is left other than the sound of stone rolling down on top of stone. The cave mouth now closed and sealed. And you hear in the distance, from the cave that you all had run from, the loud sound of hissing and another screech in the distance.
And this is why we
Fucking
don't block our one. Egg.
Hey, come on. Come and find the good stuff. No.
This is mine.
Ferrati looks
there
down
any
to
gap?
the invisible Darrow. So what do we do now?
Good fucking question, kid.
Cause there's more of them. Cause there's...
Of course there's fucking more of them. You didn't think ahead of this?
No.
There's no point
Done.
of fighting with each other. We are in this situation, and the only thing
We're
we
probably
can
gonna
do,
fucking die now.
we can either
Looking
fight
at
them.
the-
We can either fight them and try to survive, or there's only one other way of going about this, and I hella don't want to do that, but if we have to, we have to. We're gonna have to jump into this fucking river. Those are
What
the
seems
only two options.
well in the Dundalk. Is there any small gap,
No.
anything in the cave entrance? None.
No, you
Uh,
brought
like
you
no-
brought the whole
no-
cave
no.
mouth down.
I was just hoping just
We
for
are
a
far
tiny
under
gap.
this bitch. We are hours of walking down under this bitch, and you brought it down on top of our heads. Great.
I believe the phrase is careful what
Was
you wish
surprised. We were very lucky how we took care of this creature very fast. But there's no guarantee about the others, and it sounded more than obviously than one. So I
Did it just sound like more of
necessarily think-
one?
for. It sounded like more than one, but it didn't sound like there were many.
So
It didn't sound like there was like an
Yeah, I
entire
want to
horde of
see.
them. It just sounded like there was more than one.
take it up to a vote, jump, or fight.
We don't
I
even
had
know
s-
if this river even leads outside.
I had spells prepared. I was going to be able to put a ball hole through the hole.
You know, as we've discussed...
How long would you need?
I have 3 spell slots left. I don't know if that's enough.
How long would you need to burrow us the fuck out of here?
I'm not sure.
It
I
also
don't know how
depends on
much I
how
can
much...
cover the mountain. Like, let me find out. Points wand. He is not aiming for the collapse cave. He's aiming for the right side of it, angled, and I'm going to be shooting chromatic orb acid.
As we're discussing this, I'm going to be loading up another bolt in my crossbow.
Nice. And what's the distance of chromatic orb?
And he's sending lights. It's the hit, 90 feet range. 3d8 damage.
Because you have to burrow through the stone using
I
it,
roll if
I will say that it's able to travel half distance, but you still are finding stone on the other side.
it's. Yeah, and it's a 4-inch diameter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's. So do I see the other side, or do I see more rock?
More rock.
More rock, more rock.
A deal of time. But if I were to have a day, I could get us through.
A day. A day? Are you fucking kidding me? You brought down the entire fucking cave without even thinking that there might be more than one.
I saw a massive threat that could kill us. I killed it as quickly as possible.
And now there's more!
I did not know there was more.
Again, we're wasting time here. We need to make a decision.
Darrow puts Ferrati down on the cave floor and just...
Half day, maybe. I have 2 spell slots remaining. Good progress if...
Fucking kidding me.
He is just doing lights down this little, like where the water's going, and is trying to make them go that way.
Where the water's going?
I'm just gonna say my own feeling.
Into this
I understand.
into this cave area.
At this point, I might think it might be better if we go into the water. One foul mistake, that creature could have killed us all. If there's more than one, there's only 4 of us here. I don't like the odds. I'd rather take the odds into the own to which I already know that could kill us with ease. We got lucky with this one.
Huh.
But I don't see another cave that we can collapse.
Is there any
into another
holes,
creature.
any
These
tunnels,
creatures.
anything? Is there
He
any other
literally
holes that
said
we're seeing
when
around
we
here?
walked
Just
in
the
here that
one?
there was one way in and one way out.
As you use your globules to look down where the river is running further down, obviously, as an underwater river, it has burrowed through the stone, and it continues into the mountain, further into the stone. You're not certain where, but it goes somewhere. You hear screeching in the
Well,
distance,
you
but
two
slightly
decide. I
closer.
clearly am not good at decisions today.
I could try to disguise myself as the creature, but I don't even know if that might work.
That's hilarious.
It's a thought.
Where was the fucking mine even located?
That way.
Well.
Hmm?
Where was the mine located? Was it north in Condre? Was it on the west side?
The mine was north side of Comdre, as the Terra's foothold mark that the followers of Terra say is where she had put her spear's pommel at the very bottom and slammed it into the earth during one of the battles.
Looks up. I have an idea. This seems Burfu Rock, right? I throw the lights here at the entrance where they heard the screech. We hide behind rocks on the other side. We keep lights over there. They'll go that way. They'll dig for the thing to find their key. And we'll be right next to the water if we have to jump in.
What is Larry doing right now?
Maybe
He's listening to you all, and
pumping around.
he's just kind of hanging out, as he's not necessarily an intelligent creature. He's one of the just creatures that just kind of hang out down here, and it seems like it feeds off of the energy put out by creatures, whether that's good or bad. And it seems like, as now with Darrow getting upset and Larz getting anxious and nervous about his own decision making, it seems like it's kind of backing away, as it's now feeding off of that negative energy, and it does not seem very excited about that.
You said that you could turn into the Basilisk. What did you mean?
I could turn myself into it to disguise myself. Doesn't necessarily mean I can speak their language, but I can distract.
I'm not asking you to speak their language. If they can burrow, can you?
Give me a
You
second.
mean
Gain the
disguise yourself,
abilities when you
transform
turn
into
into
the
shit
beast.
as a ranger.
It's an illusion, so I would expect it not to be able
Oh,
to.
no.
Oh, an illusion.
Yeah. Changes words by spell fail to hold up the physical inspection. For example, if you use the spell to add a hat to your outfit, objects pass through the hat.
Could you, say, make an illusion of the creature swimming in the water, struggling?
I must be the one struggling in the water.
Oh, you must be the...
I'm the target of the illusion.
Oh,
Well, it seems the only fucking option we have is to try and trick them into burrowing out the fucking tunnel for us, and if that fails, jumping in the river that we don't know where the fuck it leads.
yep, Larz is going down to the keep. He's going to keep the lights on the cave-in. And go to the
I'm
next range
guessing
and
we
go
all have
there.
to move up to the top part of that fucking
Well, I moved.
stalagmite. The fucking hide.
I'm moving downwards. And trying to hide behind rocks and everything, like this little scattering of rocks, since they're large enough for a gnome to hide behind. Just, he has to keep vision of the thing. And actually, no, I don't have to keep vision. I'm going to keep him focused there. 120 feet.
Thormir speaks out. This is gonna be a long shot. I don't necessarily know if this is gonna even be worth even the time. Goes up to this flying jellyfish thing and asks, is there any other exits that we can possibly escape from? Would you know by any chance?
So this is fun, because I've never had the ability to play flumps in my games, nor have I ever had to have them conversate with the player. So I'm going to let you choose between an animal handling or a charisma check. You've got your general charisma, which is just your charisma modifier, or you can attempt animal handling to see if that would work.
I don't even know which one would be better in this situation.
Whatever with the highest success rate.
Oh, that would be animal handling, because I get a +2. Well, I'll do that then. I'll do animal handling.
Alrighty.
Nat 20.
Very nice.
22.
So,
Thank God.
22.
You watch as this creature looks at you. And though it doesn't seem to understand what you're saying, you being as a person closer to nature, you are used to at least talking to animals, and you're used to the idea of interacting with animals. And you know how to kind of bargain with, talk to, and kind of handle animals to a point. And so you attempt to interact with it as you would with a regular animal that you would find in the woods. And you watch as it seems to stare at you, and it seems to understand. And as it looks to you, it then looks around the room, and it begins aimlessly floating around, looking. It stops as it floats above the river, looking at the path that it that the river is coming from. And then it floats over to the corners, and it floats down into the cave, towards the cave entrance to the cave that the original sighting was. And then it floats down to the other corner, and it floats over the water towards where the water is rushing down. And then you watch as it floats around to the other corner, before floating up and past Larz, where it seems to stop and look at Larz for a moment before poking him with one of the tentacles, and then simply floating off towards the mouth that was caved in. And you notice that it seems to look at the caved in mouth, and it looks at it. It looks to Thormir, then it looks at the caved in mouth again, and it takes one of its tentacles to grab a small rock and move it out of the way, before grabbing another small rock and moving it out of the way.
There's no other way out.
It then looks to Thormir once again, and it uses two tentacles. One to point towards where the water is rushing down, and one to point towards the caved-in entrance.
There's only two ways out then. From what I'm getting from our friend here, we only have two ways out of this situation. Caved in mouth, or, well, down the river. So, at least that's reassuring. We can try out Larz's plan, but I have a feeling I can trust my friend here.
You hear a louder screech, this one closer to the cave's entrance that you all had run from. Not close yet, but close enough.
If by any chance this doesn't work on our favors, I think a good signal for us to just bail would probably be Larz flickering the lights in kind of a strobe fashion. Off and on, off and on. If you can do something like that to Larz.
I could try.
You can try. I can only imagine how much that could be painful to their eyes, just turning that on and off.
You know, you're trying to play on their stupidity here.
Large is already down there. He's like,
So let's see if hopefully this works. Hopefully this works.
because I can't even see what they do. Because I only have 60 feet of movement. Or dark vision.
So?
How big is the AoE of that fucking spell that fucked us over?
20 by 20. Well, 20-foot cube.
Mm-hmm.
I can't cast it anymore though, let's. Heck, I would kind of wish I would have taken it back and not used haste, because I could have just kept Vortex Warp without using it.
No, we're here now.
So you all are trying out
I tried. I really tried.
So you all are trying out the hiding plan first?
Behind the giant stalagmite. Yep. Hide behind the giant stalagmite, try to make him fucking dig through the rubble, and if that doesn't work, fucking jump with the roof.
Alright. I need stealth checks from everyone.
Not one.
You are fucking kidding me.
So I have a 10.
Nice.
8. Do I have advantage because I'm small hiding under a rock?
No.
Dirty 20. 18 plus 2.
Very nice.
Thormir's just ready to just dive into that river.
This is just not Larz's day. This is not Larz's adventure. This.
I'm
Like,
sorry.
seriously.
I need to know your thought process on this because we heard one back there that made us drop this, and then we have one crawl up from the chasm in front of us as we witness it eat a fucking bat. Why did you think that was the only one that existed? Also, he told us there was one entry and one exit. Why would you collapse it?
Because I had confidence that we could get out of it, and I thought it was the only one. Because I'm doing my best not to metagame.
Ever assume an animal is alone. Ever. Ever. In any scenario. Ever. I don't give a fuck if we're in a gladiatorial arena and there's only one in front of us and all the gates are closed. Guess what, motherfucker? Gates open and shut all the time. There could be more. Never. Gah!
Yeah, it's like
He's
I know all
just-
these things not in patch normally.
Game sense.
He's just a little hangry.
Jesus fuck. No, I'm not hangry. This is fucking... You don't destroy your one exit. Of
Well,
all
if
the
there was
things...
one, it would have... If there was only one, we would have been fine, but there's not.
Yep.
So, it is what it is.
Animals are hardly ever alone. Hardly ever.
What did Larz get for his stealth check?
8. Hey, I can't. Dice say screw me tonight, clearly. It's all week, actually, honestly, says screw me.
Why is Larz down there?
The only reason
max
Thormir is okay with
distance.
this plan is because he wants to see how many there are.
Lars is max distance because I gotta cross the thing. And so keeping max distance, they're clearly gonna go where the scream is.
So there's 2.
So, Thormir, with his 180, 180
Yes, 180.
feet of dark vision, can see emerging from the mouth of the cave that you all ran from. 2 more of these creatures emerge. Their 8 clawed feet pattering against the stone floor as they make their way in and look around curiously, their eyes shifting along the area. One of them lifts their nose, trying to
Does Darrow
smell.
hear them?
Make a perception check.
What is that number?
Numbers. Ow.
12. The one bad thing about the roulette thing is I can't really see certain numbers, so that's a 12 perception plus 2. 14.
Okay. At the moment,
I just want to know if I hear like them coming.
so at the moment, it's difficult at this range to make out noise other than the river right next to you. With the river slamming against the stonework around you, it's difficult to make out any particular noises until you hear this strange, like, hissing noise coming from the shadows that you're not entirely certain is or is not the creatures. And you can't hear more than one at a time. Because with you being
Regardless,
human, your eyesight is not made for this. So you're just sitting in darkness.
variant human, but yes. Darrow taps Thormir on the shoulder, trying to have him silently communicate how many there might be.
Thormir just does this.
Can I see him?
You can...
He's close enough to me. He's within 5 feet.
So the
I will
creatures
say
clearly noticed
because
the giant glowing
well,
cave.
the river itself has glow to it, as I had mentioned last session. That's why I've added the little glowing algae to it. There is something in the river that is glowing ever so slightly. However, the glow of the river and the glow of the flumph are just about the same, as neither put off enough light to actually be useful. They just put off enough to be like a very dim, like if you were to have like bioluminescent algae basically, or bioluminescent like moss in just one specific spot. Imagine a nightlight going dead.
So he can't. So he can't see me.
I will say that you are able to use the flumph as a light source just enough because you all are within 5 feet of the flumph that you can just barely make out the shape of each other. Well, in Darrow's case at least. Ferrati and Thormir can see just fine, but Darrow is able to make out the shape of the others. It's not enough to actually be useful, but like...
A little tiny fucking nerd screwed me. I can't
That's made the
see.
nerds more
I
pissed
can't
off.
leave.
You just
God
hear
damn it.
very unnerving hissing noises in the distance. But I will say you can make
How
out
far?
Thormir making a sign that looks like 2.
You gotta summon the lights to bring them over.
I've been keeping the lights active this entire time. I wanted them to enter this room and see giant glowing door where screams supposedly came from. And knowing that we would have been split apart, I would have kept one light next to the rope. No, not on the rope. No. Pretty much, I just want to see them to see the giant door and forget about everything else. Ignore that one next to the rope.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just hello lights. Focus on the lights. Stupid creatures.
You keep calling them stupid creatures. They're gonna bite you in the ass.
I said hopefully.
Well, Thormir watches as one begins to kind of scour over here, going mostly towards the stalagmite right here. This one begins moving down and around.
Way down! Way down!
Thormir's keeping a
Any
good
noise
eye on
from the
him.
fucking rubble? Not too good. Don't look them in the fucking peepers.
As you watch them, this one, while moving towards this stalagmite, kind of circles back around towards the bottom end. This one comes around, and Thormir can see that it stops and actually climbs up the stalagmite a little bit, and you can see now on the side of this pillar of stone, it looks like part of the formation at first, until Thormir starts paying attention as this creature seems to be doing something strange. It actually rips off a part of the pillar that you notice now looks to be some sort of miner that was running and trying to climb up the pillar, as it then rips off one of the legs, and the form of this ex-miner falls off the pillar and smashes against the stone floor underneath. The creature then crunching and destroying the leg in its mouth as it then swallows the stone.
Still watching.
This one disappears as it burrows into the stone. This one makes its way around to about right here as it starts to lap up some of the stone miner that it just smashed on accident, swallowing the pieces that its long tongue laps up, leaving a strange saliva along the stone.
Thormir nudges Darrow to basically try to communicate in one, just like nudge, nudge, and one finger up, dash.
Darrow keeps his great sword ready.
It's a waiting game.
There's a strange silence that falls over the cave that is only filled by the sound of the running water, as the other one continues to lap up the stone figure that had broken into smaller portions on the stone floor, before it then swallows down an arm that had fallen off the torso when it landed. Burrowing can be heard, but not seen, as the group sits behind the stalactite pillar, waiting. It then comes into view as it seems to be wandering around this side now, as it had likely burrowed up out of the stone behind the pillar, and now makes its way cautiously towards these strange lights, while the other, as it is still outside of Larz's 60 feet, but Thormir can see it. Thormir watches as it then picks up the head of the once miner turned stone and crushes it in its maw, swallowing it. The frozen in stone look of fear and horror simply turned to rubble in an instant, as it crunches and chews before making its way up and along, before disappearing into the same burrow that the other had left.
What's the other one doing now?
Burrowing over.
Oh yes, but the one that got over.
This one starts to make its way over. It doesn't notice any of the four hiding behind the pillar, but it does notice the smell of something. Within the stone of the entrance perforates the smell of blood. And now, less intrigued by the lights, makes its way over to the entrance and starts to sniff the stones in front of it. Seemingly ignoring the lights as it then eats one of the stones in front of it. The other then appears just behind it. Like curious animals, It follows suit. This one immediately notices the smell of blood.
Might want to zoom in on the map so we can see.
Mm-hmm. Larz, of course, hiding down here. You all here. The two seemingly snacking on a few of the rocks. Curiously following the scent. You watch as one of them pulls one of the rocks aside, swallowing it, and then pausing. He notices something. A scaled, crushed corpse, or at least part of one. As it then leans down and sniffs it. Then it licks it. And all hear as it lets out a very loud hiss. Anger. Or some kind of emotion from this creature. As it then backs away from the cave mouth, hissing extremely loudly. Backs away, and then suddenly it turns, and much like a bullet, it burrows into the stone, disappearing. The other, seemingly confused, sees what the other had seen, licks it. This one takes a bite, and then spits out what it had found before screeching and immediately following suit, disappearing into the stone below.
Thormir crouches down and puts his ear to the ground.
Make a perception check.
Ouchie.
Might be a 9 plus 8, so 17.
17. Strangely enough, as you press your head to the stone, you're able to cover your other, and it kind of blocks out the sound of the river. You can still hear the buzzing of the river water smashing against the stone and cutting into it, but listening closely, you do hear, for just a moment, what sounds like burrowing, very muffled, before it just kind of disappears as if passing by.
Okay.
Okay.
Thinking that we're all just waiting.
Either waiting on you to go, I think they left, or fucking waiting for them to show up again.
Well,
Hmm.
is the collapsed gravel considered loose earth?
No.
Man, worth a shot.
You've compacted stone on top of stone with pressure buildup heavy enough to basically seal off this entrance. You're an engineer. The loose gravel kind of hanging
know
around
how-
at the edges could be considered loose, but that's not what sealed off this mouth.
It was the rest of the fucking mountain.
Just gonna wait. How long has it been?
How long are you all wanting to wait?
Or is this gonna wait a minute or two? And is this gonna do a wide little path with the lights? Over on the other side, just so we can see if there's any activity or whatever.
Like that?
Or
Yeah, just. But there's it's like a massive 60-foot moving around, so you can see if there's anything out there.
Protecting everything.
It doesn't look
Thormir's
like
gonna put his ear on the ground and on the wall.
it doesn't look or sound like there's any activity anymore.
Just gonna wait another minute. Then go back to the other.
So you're gonna make your way back up to the group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You make your way back up, and nothing happens. You're not ambushed, so you let out a sigh of relief if you'd like. For now. You all seem
No.
You all seem safe at the moment. Locked in, but safe.
Just gonna look around. He's gonna aim up the shot perfectly where he went. Shoot again. He's gonna send another lob in. I'm continuing the tunnel because I only met stone.
What was that?
I'm
He's
gonna
trying
shoot
to
another
dig more.
Yeah, same hole. Shoot.
Okay.
Acid globule thingy.
And you said it has a range of 90 feet?
And if he can't see, he's gonna send one of the lights down.
Range of 90 feet, and because it was stone, or going through stone, you said it was halved.
Mm-hmm. And it's
So
still...
through 45.
And it's still
It'll be
stone
45 again.
on the other side. stone around it shifts and actually
much did it
tries
collapse?
to fill in some of the hole made. Erupting Earth is a 20 by 20 square. You disrupted the entirety of the mouth and then 20 feet back. Though it disrupted...
No, it was all on the entrance.
And though it disrupted the entrance, it also disrupted any of the structure of the caves around it.
Because it was cave, it wasn't a mine shaft, it wasn't reinforced.
So,
Thormir likes to go towards the creature, the corpse. And would like to harvest silently.
I will say there's not much sticking out and there is not much left that is worth anything. You can probably try and get a number of bloodied scales off of it, but for the most part the entire body was crushed, and these creatures that had come over here and noticed its body only moved like enough stone just to see a part before they ran off, basically.
I'd still like to grab some scales.
Alright. I will say that you're able to do that without much effort.
Would it be just custom?
Let's put in custom bloody basilisk scale.
Yeah.
And how many?
You know what? Roll a d20 for me.
I got an 18.
You are able to pull off and actually carefully keep 21.
21 of them?
Mm-hmm. The rest are basically ruined simply because when they were crushed, the ones that you pulled off were... It wasn't that they weren't as frail as the others, it's that the others, when you tried to pull them off, would snap, or they would crack, or they would come off, and then, you know, part of it would be left behind, basically. And it seems like the ones that you were able to get off weren't as affected by the stone falling on it as some of the other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say that's a success then. Items are items.
Oh, Larz is just... It collapsed a lot more than... I don't know how long it'll take me.
I'll be right back. You can continue.
Are you keeping your globules?
Probably has to keep the area at least a little bit lit, please. You trapped us in here,
Yeah.
you owe me a little bit of light.
No, I'm doing constant light. It's just Larz is just looks defeated. Why did
The
It
flump
was
is gonna
only
touch
supposed
one.
to be a small portion.
The flump is gonna
The
touch one.
clump is gonna what?
The flump is gonna touch one of the globules.
Touch.
Well, Larz is gonna put his back down and start picking up rocks.
Your solution is to manually dig us out.
Well, it'll help with the process because they've shot. I've shot 90 feet worth of rock. It's still rock. So we have enough food for a few days, and I don't know. Because each one of my boats is 4 inches long. If an entire day I can dig out 45 feet. Enough a 45-foot tunnel, which we can crawl through.
And that's if it doesn't. And that's if your little tunnel doesn't
Then
collapse in on
this
itself.
is
From either just its normal fucking weight, or from us jostling around inside of it and getting us all crushed.
Unless the stone
still
settles.
have the other piece of rope? Do we still have another piece of rope?
Well, we used mine, so we should have 2 others.
God damn it.
how far was the tunnel that we
No
came
way
in?
out. We had been walking just in the mine. It took us 2 to 3 hours to walk down from the mine entrance down to where we fought the worms. From the worms to where we are now took us another hour and a half, 2 hours. That's what he told us is how long we've been down here. That's why didn't really want us to go in the river, but we don't got an option. We have to hope and fucking pray this takes us either outside or somewhere with an outside.
Somewhere with an outside.
Well, there's only
That's why I'm
one
asking.
cave entrance. There's only one entrance to the mine.
So either we go to the cave
We know
entrance
of.
or we go into their fucking nest.
I have 1 spell slot left.
Which is why I'm
Can I
asking.
shoot
if we
fireballs?
take the rope, tie it around all of our fucking waist, go into the fucking river, and then hopefully maybe along the lines either come out the other side or find a cave that lets us get the fuck out of here.
What's the effect of me shooting a firebolt through the tunnel?
What do you mean?
Probably
If I
big
do it
explosion,
over
more cave.
and over and over and over again.
Magic fire against stone. Causes a burn mark. It's non-flammable, and it's a stone. It's not coal or anything like that, so it doesn't catch fire or burn. But
Jen, Thormir used some of his insight on this cave-in
Hmm?
to explain probably a good amount of like distance of how much it was caved in?
If you mean your dwarven stone stuff,
Yes.
I would say it's difficult to make out how much would have possibly been caved in, but you know that more than likely without some kind of machinery, there's likely no chance of you all getting through here by hand.
How about magic? Like how Larz is planning on doing it?
If Larz has enough to find the other end, you would be able to possibly give a better estimate. But right now, with how it's looking, it would take
I
a
have a
number of
second
Larz's.
level spell slot.
Because Larz has explained that he has used 90 feet worth of acid trying to burrow through the stone, and it's still showing that it's caved in. Larz isn't sure if it's another...
90 feet's pretty far.
Yeah. Larz isn't sure if it's another 5 feet, it could be another 90, it could be 20, it could be 15, it could be 35, 40.
It would take me a long rest and all my spell slots, most likely, to make a cavern near enough for me to fit to launch another 45 feet. So long rest, 8 hours.
So,
How big is a
That's it.
gnome?
your height?
I'm
Just
talking
subtract your
Biff.
heels and your hat.
You're considered a medium creature. So, I mean,
Aren't I? I'm considered a small creature.
are you?
Yeah, I should be a small creature. I'm not tiny, I'm small. There's a reason I can hide behind people.
Me talking to my girlfriend. It's not tiny, I'm small. There's a difference. Well, the width of each character is based entirely on how they want to present. I mean, Thormir is going to be broad, but if he were to be a fat dwarf, he would be thicker than if he was normally right now. If Darrow was a large human, he would be,
Thormir's not fat.
you know, bigger than he is now. If you want to be a fat gnome, you're going to be larger
want
than a normal
to-
gnome.
I'm not a fat gnome. Alchemist. It just looks at the guys. Do you want to wait an hour? I can recover some spell slots. I think I can maybe.
Ferrati just finds a rock and sits down.
We have no fucking choice.
Alrighty. Aims again to the side. I have a pattern here going. Calculating how many times I have to shoot and where I have to shoot. And he's gonna shoot it perfectly. Whenever 40. This is gonna be second. So how much further does the second level spell slot go compared to the first level?
It should read on your spell. If it goes any extra distance. I know that it does.
It's still 90 feet.
But it does extra damage, I assume?
It's still the same.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's an extra D8.
More potent acid.
48, and then it's 5d8
More potent
for
acid
second
would
level.
probably mean that it could go maybe an extra 10 to 15 feet. That would be my assumption.
Hmm. Thormir's just gonna be on edge
Well,
and on guard.
if that's the case, I'm just gonna use my last spell slot and then take a short rest.
Okay.
Yep. Darrow keeps his fucking greatsword out, just listening. I didn't even get to
Thormir's
fucking fight.
Thormir's just looking at the burrowed holes that are existing while looking at the entrance.
Trying to figure out if I can change spells during this short rest.
I'm pretty sure you
Or
can't.
was that? I'm trying to remember if that was a 2014 thing or a 2024 thing.
You all are going to be here a while.
Yeah, I got 3
you
spell
think?
slots left. And let's see, so 4 inches, 4 inches. And with that, it's gonna start making the pattern now. There is now a 12. A bit of rock falls down as I'm aiming it, so that like every single shot, there's gonna be a little diamond shape ordeal. A little star, and this little star pit is gonna fall down because it can't support itself. And it's like gonna help the hopefully pull it out. Otherwise, I'll have to use another shot.
Are you trying to pull out the 45
And,
foot long stone? Covered in acid?
I'll just use another spell shot and shoot it.
Okay.
Oh shit, that's my last spell shot, and now long rest because that's my last spell slot. But now there's officially a hole large enough for a gnome to fit in.
Barely. And you're going to take a long rest?
Right, with a long rest. Not around here. He's gonna go. Can we go down below? You think? I need time to recover everything. If you can get it, then I can make a great deal of progress.
and make a fortification which these beasts cannot penetrate in.
What are you asking?
And how long would that
Yeah,
take?
for 6 hours. Long rest. So an hour 30 minutes, I just yeah.
Well, there's only so much we can do right now. So,
Yeah, but just regenerate my spell slots.
go ahead and start to resting. You're gonna need it. If anything happens, we'll just wake your ass up. May that be waking your ass up for battle, or really just jumping into a river. Either way, you'll know. Is there a pillar?
There are
A
a
Thormir?
number of them in this room. Down at the bottom half of this side of the room, there is a pillar as well as stone rubble. But if Larz is doing a long rest, he can no longer concentrate on dancing lights. So, you all are attempting a long rest?
At least Lars is. Thormir is not. He's gonna be on guard.
Okay.
Since I'm the only one who can see.
I can't see shit. Not putting away the greatsword, but sleeping with it in the fucking hand, or resting with it in the fucking hands.
Well,
So,
walks over. Ferrati, before he goes to bed. Ferrati, remember that burning breath of yours? I'm gonna ask her to use her dragon breath acid as many times as she can. And that should speed things up a bit beforehand as well. It's gonna help things along. Could Ferrati help with the dragon breath? Acid?
Her dragon's breath spell is only 15 foot in a cone.
Mm-hmm.
Could also make the ground unstable and cause further collapsing.
Everything unstable.
This dragon breath and the mothing just bop.
Okay. So you're wanting to try her dragon's breath?
Yeah.
Okay. She only has 2 spell slots worth. So you can use it twice for a 15-foot cone. That's 15-foot long cone.
Yeah. It makes the entrance a bit bigger for one, me, and 2, everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do we get the long rest in, or?
With that, you watch as the cave mouth rumbles, and some of the rocks fall and shift. But for the most part, the tunnel seems to hold, at least for now. And then Ferrati looks at it, and looks to everybody else, and looks at the hole. And you watch as something strange occurs. She looks to you all. What are you sending me? She looks to you all. Can you keep a secret?
At this point, kid, fucking sure.
Yeah, of
If you
course.
can get us out of this mess, then
I mean, I already planned on bringing you back to the noble's house if that's what you wanted, and not telling them that you're not their actual son or daughter.
She then looks to the hole that you all have started trying to make. And twice, she adds an additional 30 feet. As she opens her mouth,
Oh, just melted?
takes a deep breath, and then throws her head forward as from her mouth a glow erupts from her chest, up her throat, and out her mouth as acid spews. She adds an additional 30 feet total. Twice. Well,
Oh.
she does this twice, but adds 30 feet total per.
so 15 each time.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, damn, kid.
Yeah, wow. Was this before the rest or after the rest? Because then we could figure
Before.
out another 30 feet. Did we see the end?
I don't necessarily understand what the secret is.
You shot 90 feet. Wait. Is she making a bigger
So it's
hole
not
with her
fish
fucking
face.
cone, or is she adding
Big
to
cone.
his already dug out bullshit?
It's a 5-foot line. It's 30 feet long. So she's making it a little bigger and trying to add to it.
So,
Without
60
just,
feet then?
just to make sure that we're not going to
If
get
it's
dicked
5
here as
foot.
well,
so
it's acid.
unless she climbs into the tunnel, she can't get much further.
But
It
it was
is
big enough for
acid,
me to go
so
in.
wouldn't it
and-
make the rocks? Wouldn't it make the rocks melt and solidify to each other, so it would be at least somewhat stable?
You all
You
aren't
are no
entirely
fucking help.
certain, as this is really the first time that you all are trying to melt solid stone. With Darrow never having any access to magic and not necessarily needing alchemy, and most alchemists not needing to melt regular rock. The only one that would have any kind of experience with what this reaction may be, being Thormir as a dwarf, and dwarves don't use acid. It could make the rocks runny, it could solidify them, it could burrow through it, it could just be making this more unstable. However, there is acid left over, and it is dripping from the top of the tunnel and pooling at the bottom, so it's just burning through more of the stone at the bottom as well. So,
Great.
however, you just watched as she not only gave magic to Larz to do a cone of acid, she then proceeded to follow through and, without any spell, incantation, or any kind of magic necessary, she just spewed acid from her mouth.
That was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Famir is having a heart attack right now.
Thormir is trying to think about what to do. It's not like he's against her. He's already overcome that.
There ain't shit I can do either.
Yep, long rest then if possible.
Well,
And whenever she can do that thing again,
everyone
I
here
don't
just
wanna
get some
risk-
rest in. I'll just go keep an eye out. If anything happens, I'll let you know.
then we will leave it as the long rest begins. As it is 12:30, and starting an hour late, I feel that is plenty of time played. On top of that, you all now have things to think about as you just not only are stuck here trying to tunnel your way out, hopefully finding a means of doing so safely, you also have the possibility of the basilisks coming back, and Ferrati showing off a skill that she had asked if you all could keep secret for some reason. So, you all have plenty to think about and process. So, thank you all for coming to the Will-O-Wisp Woods. Thank you all for joining us here tonight on Steam and Rain. We are officially 19 episodes in, almost 20 full episodes of Steam and Rain. And I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do apologize that you got lost with the Will-O-Wisps, but we are happy that you were here at the campfire listening to their stories with us. And of course, we'll keep the campfire roaring for you so that you have somewhere to sit and listen to their stories next time here in the Will-O-Wisp Woods.
Have a good day, have a good night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Peace off.
Good night.
Oops.
Yeah, fucking oops.